our hands to prayer, bring it
Part of family-centered care is really about providing ways that families can de-stress, that they can find some time that they can forget about what they're going through and kind of put things out of their mind and get out of that hospital space for a little while. So we've started doing some activities here that we've been wanting to do for a long time, and now that we have the space to do it, we're doing some of those things. We're doing a sibling event once a month so that some of the siblings that don't have a chance to get some attention from mom and dad because of the child that's actually in the hospital kind of puts the focus back on them for a little bit.
I know all of us have probably had kids in the hospital and on a shorter term, so I can imagine how terrible it would be to have a child in the hospital for a long term, and it would be nice to have a refuge to come to.
You should feel that, guys. Right
now we're offering monthly yoga classes, which has been a big hit for our families.
Good deep breath in.
We're also doing our coffee cart every day, which we've been doing for several years. When the coffee cart comes rolling down the hall, the kids all get excited, the families get excited, the nurses get excited.
Splenda, please. Splenda. Yeah.
It just brightens someone's day when you don't have to worry about where a little snack is going to come from or where a treat's going to come from. It just gives them a little sense of joy in their day. We're now offering the same services in Elkhart through our kiosk. It's a stationary coffee cart. We're stocking that weekly with treats and things for our guests over in Elkhart. It's really just about taking them out of the stressful period that they're going through. We see families that have smiles on their faces that they haven't had for a while.
As soon as we got to the hospital, went through talking with nurses and doctors, they said that it looks like you're gonna go into labor today. A lot of questions go through your head just because we knew how early this was. When Madison was born, the baby next to us, the grandpa came over to me and he said, nobody's gonna believe how small your baby is. So can I suggest something? I said, sure. He said, you want to take your wedding band off and put it over her wrist and take a picture of it. That way when you explain to somebody that she's 2 pounds, 1 ounce, they'll understand what you're talking about. Periodically, Madison asked me for my ring and just to kind of symbolize really how small she was. The doctors and nurses and the hospital staff and everybody involved are made to do those jobs. What an honor to have those people around you in a time when you really need them, because it is truly a blessing to have them do what they do.
Okay, so divider, you see what I'm talking about though?
Yeah, yeah.
Yay or nay. It kind of matches the little tiki wood blocks though.
My name's Eli Williams and I'm the executive director of the center. When I walk in the door, I feel stressed. When I walk in the door, I see so much potential, but also we're just not there yet and we need a lot of work on our inside.
Whenever I talk about asexuality to my students, they just like go blank. They have just no... I started volunteering here at the center in October of last year, actually. I remember being slightly underwhelmed when I walked into the center. It did have like that, I can only describe it as a 1980s grandmotherly vibe to it.
It's like an older living room setting to me. It's comfortable, but it's outdated.
I think everybody just feels like it It's passable, it does the job.
I don't like our paint color. It's brown. I don't think brown is the most welcoming color.
Drab, a little gray.
The carpet just looks like someone vomited at 5 different locations.
Presumably even water would leave a mark on this carpet.
I hate the stains. I really hate them.
It's very laid back, and at some point in time I'm sure it was considered welcoming, but it's just, I don't really know how to describe it. It just needs revamped.
We're all here for each other, for the human contact, and the place is really just kind of just barely getting the job done.
Often ask me, do we even need a place like the center in 2016? And I always say yes, 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 absolutely.
I think everybody knows somebody who would benefit from this space.
I keep on thinking about how beneficial it would have been to have such a space when I was coming out as a teenager.
I feel like when I was younger, it would have been great. It would have been nice to be able to go somewhere and talk to people and interact with people and know that it's okay. Like, being who I am is okay. It's totally acceptable, and there are others out there being themselves and thriving and surviving.
I don't think that the way the center looks now reflects who we are at all.
The people here are incredibly warm, incredibly inviting, and incredibly supportive.
We're incredibly welcoming, we're fun, we're bright, we're excited.
And it's really a shame that this warmth isn't necessarily reflected within the space that surrounds us.
I would like to walk in and see maybe some couches where the books are, and people being able to get access to literature, people socializing in the coffee corner, even if it's just doing homework or hanging out, playing games.
When people walk in the door, I want them to feel like they're at home. I want them to feel welcome, like they're in a bright space where they can relax and have fun and be social.
We imagine the center as this vibrant community.
This is a community space, and this community cares, and it would be wonderful to see that reflected here.
Yeah, our space isn't perfect, and it perhaps never will be, but we have a lot of hope that we can improve it and just be a welcoming space for everyone, a place where all are welcome.
It was December 13th. It was late afternoon, early evening.
Our first look is just coming in at the school bus crash. This is on Elkhart Road near Raymond Avenue.
I received a phone call actually from a neighbor saying that the sheriff's department was looking for me. They had come to our home and that I wasn't there, and that there had been an accident.
A car and this school bus collided.
He indicated that she was not conscious, but breathing, and that we should meet them at Elkhart General. They had determined that she was critical enough that she needed to come here to Memorial Hospital. At that time, they did indicate that it was severe enough that they were not sure she would make it, and that she would be in very critical condition, and she was on an intubator. She was fully sedated. Machines were doing the work. Just in a quick second, everything had changed. A friend of mine said, "I'm sending Kelly over," as I was waiting in the lobby at Memorial Hospital, and she's going to introduce you to what the Ronald McDonald House offers.
When I got down there, my friend said, "This is a critical situation. They don't know if she's going to make it. This family has other children that need to be taken care of, and we need to help them any way we can."
She came over and got me, and we came back over to the house and to register my family. And I kept looking at her thinking that I knew her, but I couldn't figure out how.
I started telling her about the services that we offer and what we could do for them, and she just kept looking at me.
And then it came to me that 2 weeks prior to Ella's accident, we were in shopping for prom dresses at Ashley Renee's in Elkhart, and Ella had come out in this gorgeous blue dress that I wanted her to buy. And this woman sitting next to me kind of gasped and said, "Oh my goodness, that dress looks amazing on you."
And I said, "Oh my gosh, that is your dress. And I know that you don't know me, but that is your dress."
And it was the lady sitting across from me, Kelly, at the Ronald McDonald House. I said to her, "Do you realize that the girl you saw in the blue dress is the girl that's now in the ICU?" And
I didn't know exactly what to say. And I didn't want to cry and get emotional. And so I just said, "You know what? We're here for you. And the hospital's going to take care of your daughter. And we're going to take care of you. And then we're going to get her back on her feet so she can get to the prom and wear that dress."
I didn't necessarily know my needs, but the minute I walked in the door, I knew I would need this. It immediately felt like a sense of hominess. I can remember actually getting quite emotional, feeling like this would be available to us at a time of such great need. I quickly realized that my life with all of my other children and family didn't stop, and Christmas, no matter how much I would have liked for it not to come, did indeed come. I knew right away that this would be the place that would help us keep our family intact during a time when families are most likely to come together. My husband and I have 8 other children. We had, I believe, 7 of them here with us, so we're not a small group. We were able to access one of the den areas, and it was completely decorated, and you know, I recognized that it wasn't a Christmas like any other, but it was the best version of Christmas that we could possibly have in this situation. And we saw smiles on our other children's faces that we hadn't seen for weeks. So we knew it was the biggest gift for us. The house became a place of stability for me. We sort of experienced, like so many, 2 steps forward, 1 step back with her healing. And so there were days that I would find myself almost running here just to be able to get myself in a place that felt safe and stable. The gratitude that we have through the experience and the people who make it possible, I feel like I can't even express with words. I can never give back what I felt I got from Ronald McDonald House.